Hi guys! Alright, I know it's been a couple days since I made a video and posted it, and the reason is because I really don't want you to get sick and tired of seeing my face. Truly, my husband's like, you need to stop. You can't post any more videos because people are going to get sick of your face. And I'm like, yeah, he's probably right. So, but I wanted to hop on Sunday afternoon, and I do a lot of my prep work for the week on the weekend. So I'll make like potato chop and borek and stuff and put them in the freezer, or kupa. It's like my prep day. And I know the kids start school tomorrow, so I'll always do like pasta salads and chicken salad and stuff for their lunches. And I cook all day basically. And I load up my fridge so that things are easy to grab and go to. And I'm making some Lahmajeen, and I've had a couple people message me and ask that I video it when I do it. So here I am, and I hope you're not sick of seeing me. And I hope the lighting is good enough and you can see I'm kind of doing a different angle, but anyway, here we go. And I'm going to have to show you how to do this dough first, and then it has to set for 1 hour. So I'll pause the video and then I'll come back, I'll show you how to make the topping, and we'll go from there. I forgot to buy parchment paper, which I love using when I make it to line my trays. But I guess I'll have to improvise and use aluminum foil, so whatever. Okay, I'm gonna use a big plastic white bowl, and you wanna make sure that the bowl is gonna be big enough to mix your dough in. If you have a bread mixer, like a KitchenAid or something like that, good for you, use that. So you're gonna need this instant yeast. This is what's gonna help that dough. And I buy this kind. I get this at Kroger usually. And you're gonna need a teaspoon of the yeast. I'm gonna put that right in the bowl. All right, 1 teaspoon of yeast. Check out my cute little measuring things. Aren't they cute? They're little flowers. Okay, so you're gonna use that. In this little dish, I have 1 teaspoon of sugar. There we go, like that. And now we need a half a cup of warm water. All right, and what you're gonna do with the half a cup of warm water, you're gonna put it right in here, you're gonna give it a good stir, and then you're gonna leave it, and you're gonna cover it and leave it for like 15 minutes. All right, so that's kind of warm. Make sure that your water is warm, okay, that you're adding. So 1 teaspoon of yeast, 1 teaspoon of sugar, half a cup of warm water. Pouring it in there, and I'm just using a whisk, and I'm just gonna stir it around, right? Now, it says you're supposed to cover it. I never cover it. I just set it on the side like that, and I wait. And what's gonna happen is it's gonna activate the yeast. The warm water and that sugar is gonna help activate the yeast, and it's gonna get a little foamy. You're gonna leave it 5 to 15 minutes, whatever, go do something else, get the ingredients you're gonna need for your filling out, and leave this. When you come back to it, it should be kind of foamy, and that's telling you that the yeast is good and it's activated, okay? So that's what we're gonna do there. For my filling, I use peppers. I use like red pepper and yellow pepper. I don't usually use green pepper because I think sometimes they can be bitter and I don't like that. I use parsley, onion, garlic. So I have a bunch of the stuff sitting here. I also put jalapeno in it, and tomato paste, salt, pepper, and a secret ingredient, and I'll share it with you. So I'm gonna go let this foam, and I'll be back and I'll show you what the next step is. And make sure you go get your flour right now, because you're gonna need 4 to 5 cups of white all-purpose flour. Okay, so as soon as this is done, I'll come back and show you the next step. Okay, ladies, I'm back. All right, so the yeast and the sugar and the half a cup of water were sitting for about 15 minutes, and it's kind of a little bit foamy on the top. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add my flour, and I measured it out right here. There's 4 cups in here. So you may need to add some flour, okay? If it's kind of watery and sticky, you may need to add flour. If there's not enough water, you may need to add a little bit more water. You'll be able to tell by like the consistency of the dough. All right, and I'm gonna put just a very small bit, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt into the flour. 1/4 teaspoon of salt into the flour. And I'm gonna give the flour like a little stir around to mix in the salt. I look like a train wreck today. I don't know what's going on with me, but I've been doing stuff all day and I'm tired. And now I'm doing this and I'm gonna be really tired. So, all right, now you're gonna take the flour and you're gonna dump it in little by little into the yeast and the sugar and the water mixture. I have another cup of warm water just sitting right here. Make sure it's warm, okay? And I'm gonna dump in a little bit of flour. So I have a total of 4 cups in that bowl, okay? And I'm just gonna give it a little stir. And now I'm gonna dump in that other cup of water. And then I'll start pouring in that dough. All right. You know, this, just like everything else, takes a minute to make. And, you know, you just have to have patience. It's not really hard. Although, I gotta say, for first timers, the first time I made it, I didn't have a clue on how to make the dough. I think the dough was like this thick when I made it. It was rock hard. It was terrible. So, you know, it's just about trial and error. You're just gonna keep doing it until you get it right. I finally found this recipe and I follow it and I never ever have any issues, okay? So you guys, I went to that wedding the other night, right? Downtown at, what the hell was it? The Colony Club. Beautiful, beautiful hotel down there, right? And as soon as I walk in, one of the lovely ladies from this group came up to me and she's like, I love watching your videos. And it was kind of loud in there and I couldn't really hear her name. I think it was Juliana something. She was so sweet and adorable. And I felt so bad because I tried to find her before I left that night and I couldn't find her. And I was like, Robbie, I can't find her. And he's like, well, you know, you tried, at least you tried. So if you're out there watching, I'm so sorry I didn't say goodbye to you. I made a post the next day and I feel really bad that I didn't, you know, sit and talk to you or at least get to like say goodbye to you. So anyways, now I've got all 4 cups of flour in here with the yeast and the sugar and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. This dough feels really good. It's really springy. Okay, this is how I want you to feel your dough. If it feels like your earlobe, that cushy feel, you're on the right track. Okay, so I leave it in the bowl for a minute until I get all the flour kind of mixed in there. I do everything the long way. Like I don't have a stand mixer. I have like a little baby one and it won't do the dough for this. So I do everything by hand and it's okay. I don't mind. It's my workout for the day. I didn't sleep good last night, you guys, and I'm kind of just still fighting this whatever sinus infection, but you know what I'm happy about? It's finally nice outside and it's warm. So, all right, so now you can feel it's kind of getting like a little bit tougher and that's okay. If I feel like it's getting too stiff, I will add a little bit more water, okay? In fact, I'm gonna add just a little, maybe a 1/4 cup more of hot water. Let me just add that hold on, I'm just getting that water. And here's a 1/4 cup, and I'm not even gonna add the whole thing, just a little bit. Just to kind of get the rest of that flour mixed in there. I didn't even use the whole thing, guys. Yeah, because I can feel it's like stickier now. Okay. Now, I saw on one of the threads that there was like several dough recipes. Where the hell was this page when I was learning? That's what I want to know. Like there wasn't anything like this when I was trying to learn how to do all of this. And honestly, very few, my mother-in-law, thank God, because she's, you know, she'll tell me anything I ask her. But some women are like super protective over how they do stuff. Like they don't want you to be able to do it or something. I don't know. Or they're afraid you'll do it better than them, or I don't know what it is, but they're not so willing to share information. And, you know, I'll share anything I know. Okay, so just gonna knead it. Now, let me get all this out of the way. Like I said, I didn't want to do I was gonna do them yesterday, but I don't want to keep making videos and posting because I feel like I don't want you guys to like be like, oh God, there's that girl again doing something. So if you guys want to see something or you want a certain video, Cindis and her friend messaged me and they don't want me to make kuba until they can come over. So I guess I'm gonna put off the kuba. So now, can you guys see what I'm doing? I'm just doing this. I'm just kneading the dough on this wooden cutting board, okay? These are great. My counters are granite, and I sanitize the counters for when I roll them and stuff. You can roll them out and they won't stick to your counters, but I like to kind of just use the cutting board if possible. So the more you knead it, the better it is. And the thing with this dough is it doesn't have to, for Lahmajeen, it does not have to set for a very long time. Like when you make crust and stuff like that, the dough has to set for a long time in order for it to be fluffy enough, right? But with the Lahmajeen, you're making very thin little circles, so that's great. And then my neighbor told me that she gets a dough from Gordon Food Service that's already in like a bag. I don't know if it's in little individual balls, and she just, you know, I don't know. But she's like, I get it from there and I use that. I guess, you know, you could try it and maybe it'll turn out wonderful. But there's something about making them homemade that just, I don't know, like, call me old-fashioned. I don't know, I like it. I think it's like part of the process and I enjoy them so much more. So this is not gonna make a lot. This is probably going to make about 15 to 20. I swear to you, when I make them, they disappear as soon as I take them out of the oven. Thank God Robbie's at work and the kids are out playing, because the second I take them out of the oven, they will start to disappear, right? As soon as that smell, they smell amazing, and then you squeeze like fresh lemon on them. Girl, oh, explains my teas, because man, I like to eat. Okay, so that looks pretty good. It's nice and springy. I like the feeling of it. Like I can see how I can do that and it springs back. It's nice. So you're gonna put it in that same bowl. I'm just gonna, let me show you. So this is what we got, okay? And it's nice and, see how it's springy? That's what you want. It's kind of the same, if you pinch your earlobe and you feel that texture, that's kind of what it's like, okay? So I'm gonna put it back in that bowl. And now I'm gonna need, hold on one second. I forgot to grab some vegetable oil. I'm just gonna put a little, as tiny as bit, right? I'm gonna pour it in my hand. That's it. And I'm gonna rub that dough with the veggie oil. Just cover it with, like, give it a nice little oil massage. There we go. All right, now that's it. That's your dough. Super easy, right? Now, cover it, get a clean towel, and cover the dough and put it like in a warm spot. Maybe next to the fridge. That's where I put it, usually next to the fridge, because the heat from the fridge running. Or if you had just done the oven, you can set it next to that. Something where it'll stay just nice and cozy and warm. We're gonna put our dough night-night. We're gonna cover her, and we're gonna, I usually put a plate on top of this too to kind of hold in any kind of heat. Leave it alone for an hour. So I'll be back in 1 hour from now, and I will show you what we're gonna do with this. So be back, okay, ladies? I'm gonna put it right over there, and I'm gonna clean all this, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how we're gonna make the meat topping, and then we'll make one. Talk to you soon. All right, loves, now the dough is sitting over there still. I still have quite a while, so I'm gonna start on the meat filling, all right? And sometimes I tend to put like a lot of meat on it, and because you know when it cooks up, that meat shrinks in. So I like to put it so that when they're done, the meat is from edge to edge. I like that. So I'm gonna use 2 pounds of ground chuck, and say just get a big bowl, and I'm gonna put it right in that bowl. So that's 2 pounds of meat in the bowl, all right? And I also cut up a whole red pepper. I've washed everything ahead of time. Red pepper, you might, okay, let me stop, because I don't want to get crucified here, because I know that there is some traditional Chaldean mom or nanny watching me saying, she is not doing it the right way. And I am not saying that I'm doing it the exact way that you guys do it. I am telling you my interpretation of Lahmajeen, the way I do it, the way I found it tastes amazing and works for me, and the way I've taught myself to do it. I didn't have somebody teach me. I've learned this by myself. Okay, so please don't kill me. All right, so 1 yellow pepper, 1 red pepper. Like I said, I don't like green pepper on it. 1 whole white onion. Of course, you know me and the garlic. I gotta have some garlic. I have a handful of parsley that's been pre-washed. I also use jalapeno. I have fresh jalapenos, but sometimes I feel like I can't control how spicy it is, and I don't want it to be like overwhelmingly spicy. So these jarred ones, they're in slices, and I can just take a few and chop them up, and it works good for me. I'm gonna use some salt and pepper, black pepper, and then I'm gonna use a little bit of allspice, and again, I'm gonna use some cumin, and it gives it a really good flavor, and also a can of tomato paste, okay? So that's in there. The meat is already in the bowl. So now I'm gonna start with this little food processor over here, and I'm gonna chop up all the vegetables that I just mentioned to you. So with the jalapeno, all right, so this is what you have. Right here, this is what I have. Jalapeno, parsley, pepper of your choice, orange, yellow, red, whatever. Peppers, 2 of them, and a whole white onion and garlic. I'll probably put in about 5 to 6 cloves of garlic in this meat mixture, and it'll taste amazing, okay? So I'm gonna pause because you don't wanna hear the food processor. It's kind of annoying. All I'm gonna do is put it in the food processor, grind them up, and put it in the bowl with the meat, okay? So I'll come right back and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, ladies, I chopped up all of those veggies, and now they're in the bowl with the ground meat. So you've got a little bit of jalapeno. I didn't use a lot of jalapeno because, like I said, I don't like it too spicy. So those little slices, I probably put like 6 of them in there. So just enough for a little flavor. Parsley, red pepper, yellow pepper, garlic, and onion. All right. Now, you know I don't measure because I don't know why. I'll go here we go. Sprinkle a little bit of salt in there. A few shakes. Black pepper. Same thing. You know me, I like pepper and I like garlic. I did, just shake, 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 pepper. Done. Now, I will measure the allspice, and I kind of put some in, and then I'll mix it, and I can kind of smell, and then if I need a little bit more, I'll put a little bit more in, okay? So for now, I'm going to start with a tablespoon of allspice, just to kind of see where we go, all right? I can tell you I'm gonna probably want a little bit more. And then I add, here we go, a teaspoon of cumin. Why? Because I like cumin, that's why. I don't know if it even ever goes in there, but that's my way, right? All right, and now I'll add, the very first time I made them, it was a disaster, like the potato chop, but then I kept at it, and I finally got the dough down. Well, then I didn't get the meat mixture down. I made the meat, and it cooked up, and I couldn't figure out, like, what in the hell am I doing wrong? Because it was kind of like, you know how when they make them, and they're so beautiful and red on the top, and they just look perfect? Well, I wasn't adding any kind of, like, tomato paste or anything, so therefore, when they would come out, they'd kind of just be brown, and they didn't look really all that appetizing. They tasted okay. But now I put in a can of tomato paste with it. This is a lot of meat mixture. You might not use it all. You might run, with this dough recipe, you might run out of dough before you run out of meat. Just throw it in the freezer. Freeze it, and then the next time you make them, you'll have some meat mixture. Okay? But I'm kind of usually pretty even. All right. Smells really, really, really fragrant. Now, am I forgetting anything at the moment? No. Gloves. I have to have gloves on. So once I do the meat mixture and I, put it all over the dough and everything, before I put them in the oven, I'll take tomato sauce, drizzle it on top, and just kind of use a spoon to flatten it out. And it just gives it this extra little taste. I really like how I do them. All right, gloves, and now what I'm gonna do is just mix this stuff together, guys, with my hands. And you know what I'm gonna do just to get it ready in case I think I need it, a little bit more allspice? I'm gonna do like another little teaspoon of it right there, and I'm just gonna have it ready so I don't have to use meaty hands to kind of get to it. This is it, fun times. You know I have to wear gloves because I cannot stand, first of all, like I said, I have nails, so that's just gross. Secondly, I don't like the feeling of touching meat. raw meat, like chicken or beef or anything. Smells amazing, you guys. Like the spices are so fragrant. Now, I don't even know, like traditionally, if people even add spice to it, but I like it. So, and it's got just this really good consistency, and that's what you want. Get it all mixed in there. Really good. And you don't want the spices to be overwhelming, but you do when you eat them, you want a little hint of something there. Otherwise, it's just gonna be bland and it's not gonna taste good. I think I'm gonna add that other little teaspoon. So I did a tablespoon of allspice and a teaspoon of allspice. So, and a teaspoon of the cumin. And I think I'm happy with that now. So, okay, the tomato paste is all mixed in there. It looks really good. Everything is all mixed in. That's it. Get these off. Turn them inside out when you take them off, and then you can throw them away without touching them. All right, so meat mixture looks like so. Good? Now all we have to do is wait for this dough to rise. And I have about another 10 minutes. So I think I'm gonna pause and I'm gonna go make a cup of coffee, and I'm gonna come back and I'll finish them and show you how to finish these off, okay? I hope it's making sense so far. Okay, ladies, I think I've waited plenty long for the dough to rise, and it's really, really springy, and you want it to be really soft to the touch. If it's hard, it's probably not gonna turn out really good, so you wanna make sure that it's really springy and stretchy, okay? I had to pour a cup of coffee because I'm exhausted. And you know what I'm thinking? I am the worst video taker. I wish Robbie was here because he could video it really good so you could see up close. I'm so sorry for the quality because I know I'm terrible at this. I am horrible at videoing. So I hope it's good enough where you can kind of make out what I'm doing. And I don't know who posted that eggplant salad recipe, but I bought an eggplant because I'm about to do that. It looks so good. It's my favorite thing. That is really good. Okay, now I'm gonna take, and I'm just gonna show you, one of my biggest mistakes when I make this is that I always take too much dough, and you don't need a lot for one of them. So I'm just gonna use, like, remember when I was making the potato chop and I had like a ping pong ball size, maybe just a tiniest bit bigger, and you're definitely gonna want some flour to work on your surface so that the dough doesn't stick. So I always just take a little bit and sprinkle it on there and rub it with my hand, kind of all over like that. Rolling pin, okay? So I took a little piece of that dough. I'm gonna show you about how much I did, like that. And I usually just take it and kind of push it down with my palm so that it's kind of in a circle. You can make these as big as you want, but I'm gonna try to make a little bit smaller ones today because I wanna make sure that I can fit a few of them to show you on my cookie tray. So I'm just rolling it out and I'm switching it kind of back and forth so that they're even, okay? And not too thin, but not too thick. So I'm kind of getting there. Let me show you. You guys, I end up looking like a damn snowman by the time I'm done, or a Coke head, because I have flour from one end of my body to the other. Okay, so you can see I'm kind of getting to where I want to be. I'm going to do it just the tiniest bit more, and I'm making them a little bit small. I know these are a little bit smaller, but that's okay. I just want them like just enough to throw on a plate, you know, for company or whatever. Okay, so I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with this consistency right here. All right, and I'm gonna do them all like that. And then I just put them on a cookie sheet lined usually with parchment paper. I don't have any, so I'm gonna use aluminum. So I can probably fit like 5 on this cookie sheet. So I'm gonna go and roll the rest of them, and I'll show you how to put the meat on, and then we'll stick these in the oven and see how they turn out. I'll be right back. Okay. I rolled up. I can only actually fit 4, and I did them small, you guys, and I just like them a little bit smaller. So anyways, I did them small. I could fit like 4 of them on here, and now I'm going to take the meat mixture, and I'm just going to take a tablespoon of the meat mixture, put it right in the center of each one. These are going to be good. I can already tell. They smell good already, and they're not even cooked. Oh, and by the way, I preheated my oven to 400 degrees. Because they cook pretty fast, and you want to kind of wait until you can see the brownness on the edges of the Lahmajeen, and I'll show you when they're done. So now I've got, you can't even see what I'm doing. Okay, so now I've got them like a tablespoon of the filling in the middle of each one of these things. And now I'm just gonna use my hands and press it down. This is where I wish I had a close-up so you could see what I was doing. I need a camera crew. All right, so we're just gonna push it down. I'll show you, as soon as I get it done, I'll show you guys. Push the meat down on the edge, all the way to the edge of the dough. You want it all the way to the edge. I'm gonna add just a little bit more. If you have to go in and add a little tiny bit more meat, that's okay. Just start with a tablespoon. And I'm gonna push it, push it, push it all the way to the edge. All right, here we go. There we go. All right, now let me show you how this one looks. Okay, so you can see I pushed the meat down all the way to the edge of the dough. And I'm gonna do the exact same thing. We're gonna do that to these guys here. All the way, and like I said, you might have to add a teeny bit more meat on here. You could probably use the back of a spoon if you don't wanna use your hands. I'm gonna add a little bit more. So I'm usually ending up, it seems, putting about a tablespoon and a half of the meat on each one. So I might as well just add a little bit to each thing. You guys, this is like, you know, everything that you try to make, I mean, it's trial and error. If you don't know how to do it and you screw it up, you just keep doing it until you figure it out. And I cannot tell you how excited I am. I have gotten so many messages. Girls have tried the biryani, the potato chop. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you guys for trying it. Incredible, I'm so happy. See, that's what this group is kind of all about, helping each other, you know, and I love that. So I'm just gonna continue to do that. There was some badass biryani out there, I'll tell you that. I saw some pictures and I was like, go ahead, girls. All right, we're gonna push that out. The other day I made a bunch of burek and potato. That day I made potato chop for you guys, I made a bunch and I put them in the freezer. So those are all done, and I just have to make that eggplant salad. That looks so good to me. And her video was so good, it showed exactly step by step, which I loved. Is that bowl in the way, guys? Only this last one. And then I'll throw them in the oven. You know, I'll have to pause. I'll throw them in the oven and I'll show you how they look when they're all done. I already have some lemon cut up because I plan on shoving one of these in my mouth the second it comes out of the oven. There we go. Like literally, I have to hide these sometimes, because if they see them in the fridge or the freezer, they'll eat them. They won't leave me one, I swear to you. Robbie can easily eat 4 of these in a row, no problem. And he's like, they're so good. They're so good. I've never had any complaints from him regarding this recipe. I mean, maybe if somebody likes it a little more traditional, they won't care for it, I don't know, but at least you can try it and see what you think. Okay, so those look pretty good, you guys. I have the meat. You see how close to the edge the meat is? It's all the way to the edge. You want to do that because when the meat cooks, it shrinks in. So it's going to leave you a little ring around the crust. Of course, it's going to shrink in the middle, and you're going to have a little bit of space where you're going to see the dough through the meat. I don't like that, so I use a little bit of tomato sauce. I do like a little sprinkle on each one. Probably like a teaspoon on each Lahmajeen, like that. And now I'm gonna take the back of that spoon and I'm just gonna spread it over on the Lahmajeen. It just gives it a really pretty color when it cooks. So there we go. And I love how they smell when they're cooking in the oven. The whole house smells amazing. And not like oil. Like when I make potato chop and stuff, I really try not to do it in the house because it makes the whole house smell like oil. Even Robbie, when I did the video the other day, came home, he's like, why does it smell like oil in here? Why don't you do it in the garage? Okay, here we go. All right, guys, so this is it. I have the tomato sauce on the top. There's 4 of these bad boys. They're getting ready to go in the oven, and I'm super excited. All right, so these, I'm trying not to touch anything because I have meat on my hands, so let me use this dishcloth. And I'm gonna put them right in the oven. There you go. Now, I wish I could tell you how long to leave them in there. I'm guessing between 10 and 12 minutes. When you go in there and you look at them, you'll start to see them bubble and you'll start to see the crust get brown on the edges, but make sure that they're cooked on the bottom. You don't want to have it raw on the bottom, but crust, you know, burned on the edges. Make sure your crust is done on the bottom. That's why I do one tray at a time. I don't like to put one underneath it because it's closer down at the bottom. Those turn brown faster, and I just do one tray at a time. It takes me longer, but they turn out perfectly every time. So I'll be back in about 10 to 12 minutes, and I'll let you have a sneak peek at how these look, okay? I can't even hit pause because I have these nasty gloves on. Okay, see you in a minute. All right, you guys, I took the first tray out of the oven. Here it is, here's one. All right, let me get a nice close-up of that bad boy right there. You can see the steam still coming off. Let me show you the crust on the bottom. You can see it's nice and crispy and brown. It's cooked through. Lemon, fresh lemon, serve it with fresh lemon. Now, there's two things I forgot to mention. If you do not have parchment paper and you're using aluminum foil, make sure that you spray your aluminum foil with cooking spray before you put the dough on. Otherwise, they are gonna stick. That's the first thing. Second thing is, make sure that when you make them, you roll out the dough the same size for each one, the same thickness. Because if you don't, you're gonna have one that cooks faster and one that cooks slower, and they won't get done at the same time, and it'll screw everything up. So when you're rolling your dough, be sure you're consistent with the size and shape and thickness of each one. So this looks pretty darn delicious. The camera's not doing the crust justice on the bottom. It's nice and golden. I don't know why it's looking a little bit like light on there, but here we go. Here's the true test, right? We'll see. Fresh lemon, because it tastes so much better when you squeeze lemon on it. All right, it's so hot I'm afraid to bite into it. I love these so much. And that's why I had to learn how to make this, like potato chop and burk and all that. I loved them so much, and I had to teach myself how to make this one too. So here we go. Oh my God. You guys, I promise you, you're gonna love it. Maybe this is not the way you would normally do it, but just try it. You can change the spices or anything you want. I am telling you, I wish you were all here to have one with me. And by the way, excuse me, with this recipe, I got 16. I could probably use a little less dough and maybe get like 18 to 20, but I'm kind of happy with how I did it. I can't stop eating it now. So good. That's it. That's it. Lahmajeen right there. Simple. Any questions? I'm so rude. I'm talking with my mouth full. I'm sorry. So darn good. Any questions, send me a message. I will help in any way that I can. If you made the biryani and you made the potato chop, you can make this so easily. No more excuses. Get in the kitchen. Whoa. Get in the kitchen and start cooking. Okay? I want to see pictures of your Lahmajeen next. Okay? I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Okay? Next time.